Mary Lewis, was indicted for that she, on the 29th of January, gave birth to a living male child, whom she did then, with a silk ribbon, choke and strangle. The male child, which was a bastard, then died.
The prisoner at bar lodged at my house. She came to lodge about 3 months before she was put to bed. That was on January 29th. I saw her the morning of that day. At about 10 o'clock she breakfasted with me, and at 11 she went up to her room.
I stayed in the house all that morning. I didn't see anything more of her, only that I spoke to her at about 2:30. She was in her room. The man she told me was her husband, Thomas Lewis, wanted to speak to her. After a few minutes, I heard her call him. He stepped upstairs, but did not go into the room. I didn't see her at that time. I don't know what passed between them. They conversed the space of about 5 minutes, then he came downstairs and walked out.
Do you know what became of her after the man came down?
She went into the room and I could hear her door lock. I went out then for a space of about 10 minutes. When I came back, she was sitting by my fire.
I asked her why she kept herself upstairs, and she told me she was very busy sewing. There we sat and talked till about 9 o'clock. I told my niece to go upstairs and make the beds. She went up, made the bed, and then came down and asked me to go upstairs. The prisoner was with me. I went up myself and opened the room door. I was very much frightened to see the child. He lay dead on the floor. The prisoner then asked me, "Mrs. Williams, what is the matter?" And I says, "Oh, you brute, you ask me what is the matter, and you know what you done locking yourself upstairs all day." And she begged my pardon, saying, "I beg your pardon, Mrs. Williams, I couldn't help it, I miscarried. Miscarriage or not, I should know of it." Then Mrs. Gibbs came in and asked what was the matter. I says the woman told me she miscarried, but says I, she got a dead baby in the closet. Mrs. Gibbs said, "I'll tell you whether it was a miscarriage or not." Mrs. Gibbs could then see a ribbon about its neck. I asked the prisoner what the ribbon was for. "To draw it from me," she says.
Now, before this, had you seen the afterburden?
Yes, it was in the pot along with the baby in the closet.
Thank you. You may step down. Elizabeth Gibbs, come on down.
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
We understand that you went upstairs this night to examine the room. Who was with you?
I went with Mrs. Williams. We saw a child. It appeared to be black around the mouth and looked as if it had been beaten around the temple. But other than that, it appeared to be healthy, other than the fact that it was dead.
Thank you. You may step down. The crown rests, Your Honor.
The defense calls Margaret Garrett.
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do. I cared for the prisoner. I searched her pockets and I found 2 little shirts and 2 little caps. The prisoner made them herself. I found them of my own accord.
Thank you. The defense calls Frances Mosley to the stand.
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do. I know the prisoner from before she was put to bed. I asked her when she expected, and she told me that she expected in 8 weeks. I also asked her what she planned to do with the child. She told me she wanted to put it out to nurse and find a position as a wet nurse. There was no concealment.
Thank you. The defense calls Surgeon Lynn to the stand.
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do. I am a surgeon. I examined the child previous to the coroner's sitting. I found a mark like a ligature about the child's neck, and I also found that the lungs had contained air, having been partially inflated.
Could a breath in the act of delivery be sufficient to fill the lungs?
It might most assuredly.
And yet the child died instantly?
It might. Prisoner told me that she applied the silk ribbon to draw the child from her. She found herself in great pain, for the child had stuck at the shoulders. The child was remarkably large, and I do not believe that she could have gotten it away from herself without some such assistance. I am not a practitioner of midwifery, but that is my opinion.
Might the child have suffocated while it was stuck by the shoulders?
In my opinion, equally so.
So the child could have suffocated during delivery, before the string was applied?
I believe it frequently happens.
Thank you. You may sit down. The defense calls Midwife Graves to the stand.
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do. I'm the man, midwife. I saw the child. It had broad shoulders, like me. Pretty much it could get stuck, and it would cut the circulation off between child and mother, and 99 out of 100, the child dies.
Is it likely this would have been the case?
I have no manner of doubt.
Most respectable judge and jury, this lady is obviously guilty, as we have all seen from the obvious testimony of the landlady and anyone else who was there at the time. So do me a favor, do all of us a favor, and make this godless woman pay for her insatiable crime.
What? Oh, right. Come on now. Alright? You heard it, I heard it, we all heard it. Okay? Alright, we all know. Lack of concealment. She didn't conceal nothing, she didn't hide nothing. Come on now. The ribbon, that baby was huge. Come on. Come on, seriously. Did you see that baby? Dang. I mean, come on now. And the baby clothes? Why would you buy those clothes if you weren't going to keep the baby? Alright, so just go on, go back in the old room. Alright? Come back. We all know she's innocent. Alright, just tell everybody for me. Alright? Just do that for me.
Has the jury reached the verdict?
We have, Your Honor.
On the sole count of indictment, infanticide in the first degree, how do you find?
We find the defendant, Mary Lewis, not guilty. This sort of acquittal was not out of the ordinary, although evidence against defendants was often overwhelming. Women faced with a bastard pregnancy were in such a hopeless situation. Most of them were acquitted based on such circumstantial evidence as baby clothes and a lack of concealment.